Hey, I'm Nicholas Prom,
And I'm Chase.
and you're watching Heavy Metal Breakdown. This episode is a little different. We're just going to talk about a couple of shows that we just went to, but they're both a pretty big deal. Um, so I figure that it warranted its own episode. Before we get right into that, I do want to mention a show that I meant to put on our concert calendar, and I totally spaced on. It's coming up April 4th, coming up real quick. Soul Grinder, Leather Bitch, and Valdary are playing at the High Watermark. That is going to be killer. This is Soul Grinder's debut as a four-piece, and that is going to be dope. I am so bummed that I have to miss it, but you, the viewer, should not. Please go. I just got to work, and that is a reality of life. But yeah, we went to on Sunday, the 29th. Well, first I went to the Portland Metal Swap, and that was fun, and hung out with some of the pals there, and that was cool. And then we jammed on over to the Star Theater for this incredibly stacked bill of Onslaught, Warlord, and with support from Haunter and Torture Rack. Now, before the show, we got there, and before the show, we're hanging out, and we got to meet Cy Keeler, which was really cool. And if I was smart, I would have grabbed one of the photos I took with him and included it in this here, but I
Yeah.
just realized I didn't do that. So, but go to our Facebook page or our Instagram, and you can see that. Um,
I've actually never heard him speak before. He has a musical, beautiful speaking voice. I actually had a great time just overhearing him talking to other
Yeah,
people.
okay, yeah. Yeah, but he was a real gentleman, and I got to meet him and Jeff Williams also, who is the bassist in Onslaught. He was not in the band in the 80s, but he has been with them for 20 years, the last 20 years. So, um, and yeah, so Torture Rack opened, and I had their album or an album from them, a cassette years ago, but I like basically forgot about them, right? And I like whatever happened to Torture Rack? I don't know if they were inactive for a time or whatever, but they came back and it's great, really good old school death metal. Um, uh, they were excellent. That was really cool. What did you think of Torture Rack, Chase?
Well, that was my first exposure to them, and it will not be my last. It's just
Okay, there we go.
fucking
Yeah.
great. And I forget his name, but he's the other guy who was there with us. Who got his picture taken with Cy Keeler. You knew him. You know everybody there. You know. But he was standing behind me, and he was like, "Torture Rack." I really know her. And I thought I'd
Wait,
share that
wait,
because I thought that was
wait, wait. What? You cut out when the joke during the joke. Torture Rack.
okay. He goes
It got garbled. Try it again.
torture rack. I barely know her.
Oh my God. Also, I didn't know that. I also didn't know that. Oh no. Sorry, I thought you were talking about that kid with the curly Q mustache. I've never seen that guy before. But yeah, you're talking about my friend Alec Stair. Yeah, great
There we
dude.
go. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And that was really fun. Yeah, it was really cool. Getting to meet Cy Keeler.
Yeah.
But yeah, Torture Rack, killer. Um, and then Haunter played, and so Haunter have been to Portland at least a few times. I missed them the last time they came through. Something was going on, but I saw them maybe a year or so ago at the High Watermark, and they're really cool. And I've described them as kind of being like this, like D kind of speed metal thing with like black metal influence and dungeon synth stuff going on. The dungeon synth was a lot more muted this time. There was not
Yeah.
that was not as overt as the previous time I'd seen them, and I was like a little disappointed by that. But very cool. They're a neat band.
They they kind of use that the synth stuff as like a transition between songs more than an actual like instrument. It felt like, or maybe I just couldn't hear it very well.
Right.
But yeah, it was mostly like the blackened thing came through like clear as day.
Yeah.
Like a like a blackened speed metal with a little bit of crust in there. What it
Yeah.
felt like.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's totally it. But like, if you listen to their recordings, the synth is like much
Yeah.
more present. So I don't know what was going on that night, but they played really well, and they're a cool band, and I will continue to try and go see them when they come through because they are neat. Um, Yes. And then we got like this double header of two classic 80s heavy metal bands. Warlord, the LA power metal band, US power metal, um, really fun stuff. I never was like massively into these guys, but I'm never mad about getting to see another 80s heavy metal band that I haven't seen. Always a good time. Or even if I have seen, I'm like, oh yeah, sign me up. I'm there. Um, um, get these opportunities in while you can, because in 10 years there's going to be almost no chances to see old school heavy metal bands like of that vintage. Um,
Yeah.
that's just the march of time, man. But they were great. They were really fun. Um, some of your impressions, please.
Crazy between the two guitarists, the chemistry that they just like back and forth off each other was just a lot of fun. And despite the vocalist having a cold, apparently he sounded amazing.
Yeah,
So
he sounded great. So like I don't know, he must have had some tea and honey before their set or something, because yeah, he I could hear only a tiny bit of struggle. He was really pulling it off really well, and the energy was really good with them. They were a lot of fun, and you get to hear Child of the Damned and Mrs. Victoria and plenty of other of their staples of their catalog, and then yeah, it was really cool. They were fun. Um, and then oh my God, Onslaught were incredible. Wow, man. Um, and
yeah,
so the set was largely the bulk of the set, I should say, was drawn from the first two albums, Power from Hell and The
yep.
Force. The Force, Cy Keeler sang on that record. They were like Annihilator. New first three albums, like new different singer on each album. Um, um, but um, but yeah, they were great. Cy is a very entertaining frontman, and so when I met him before, and I hadn't really seen like current pictures of these guys. Okay, so like he had his hair like back and up, right, like in a thing. This guy has silver hair like down to his waist, stick straight. So yeah, that's like very
Yep.
striking image. But just nailed it. Just really aggressive. He and Jeff Williams were like the most entertaining part of the show. Drummer was really excellent as well, and they got a young guy on second guitar. Interestingly, Nige Rocket, the other classic member who is, still went in the band. This is the guy who owns the name. Okay, we're talking about a guy who's probably about 60 or so, doing that thing where you're trying to cop that look where like you're 28. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
facial hair, the hairstyle. I was like, okay, dude. And like he stood there and played like a corpse. Didn't meet any fans, none of that stuff. So I don't know what's up with Mr. Nige Rocket, but Cy Keeler was awesome. Jeff was great. Um, and but Annihilator, excuse me, Annihilator, Onslaught, Onslaught.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry. They were amazing, and yeah. So the set did consist mostly of the first two albums, but there was a few newer cuts and a Motorhead cover, which they closed with. I'm trying to remember, was it Iron Fist or the Hammer? I'm trying to
It was
remember.
Iron Fist.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
Iron
Yeah.
Fist.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. I knew it was one of those. Yeah. But yeah, that was great. That was a
But yeah, I got to hear death metal, Power from Hell, Steel Meets Steel, Metal Forces, and really, yeah, their cover of Iron Fist, just fucking great. I couldn't have been happier. I got to hear everything I wanted to hear, and everybody had a great. That pit was constantly going during Onslaught. Like there's almost no
oh
pit
yeah.
action until like the last Torture Act song, which apparently is like a tradition or something, because everybody was like ready for it.
Okay.
And then after that, no pit, and then a never-ending pit when Onslaught was playing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was killer. One song from the early records I would have loved to have heard was "Flame of the Antichrist," but I get you gotta pick and choose. You only have a certain amount of time on stage. But that was a great night, so much fun. A bunch of the pals were there. Just yeah, it just was a killer time. And then we got a day of rest in between. Which we needed
Thankfully.
so we could recharge our batteries, because then just last night, March 31st, we went and saw Raven at Dante's. I got off work, jammed on home, cleaned up, turned around, and picked you up, and we were just off to the races. Um, so this is my second time seeing Raven. Um, but first for you, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and will not be the last. We are gonna go every time. Um, yeah, last year, uh, uh, John Gallagher had like a pretty intense health scare, and we're so glad that he's fully recovered from that, and he was great. But yeah, let's see. Let's start. So I Am the Intimidator opened this show, and they are our
Ooh.
local NASCAR themed speed metal band. It's a really unique concept. No, I can think of no other NASCAR themed bands in metal. Um, and yeah, they're really cool. Our friend Braden Boardman plays guitar in that band. Um, and also his Lucas Salazar, who was in Nuclear Wasteland with him, is also in that band.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Yeah. And yeah, they were really cool. It was interesting because I had checked out the album and I had misremembered thinking it was like all fast stuff. It was like no, they played 5 songs and the first 3 were not fast songs, and then the last 2 were like speed demon songs. I'm like, yay! Now I'm happy.
Yeah.
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 But they were really good, and the vocals are really cool and unique too. So yeah, and I love a new idea, and they're doing something fun. So right on.
It,
Um,
it's a fun it's a fun gimmick. I like that. Like it's just the vocalist. He's like he's got like when I saw him come on stage, I wasn't really sure what to expect until he started singing. I'm like, okay, this guy rules. Okay, we're good. But he got on stage with like super tight black jeans, a racing jacket, a full leather full length racing jacket, and a racing helmet.
yeah,
I'm
race
like,
car
he's gonna
helmet. Yeah,
fucking die up there. He's gonna die of dehydration up there, man. But no,
he
he had a
didn't.
little he
Oh
had a
yeah,
little
he had a
container
gas
of
can. He had a
yeah.
gas can that obviously had water in it. But
Hopefully.
yeah, right. Uh, but yeah, so that he was
And
drinking out of
there was
periodically.
no. I was thinking that there was going to be like a circle pit opening up, and nothing did. But if it did, I was going to ensure that it was going counterclockwise to keep with the rules of NASCAR.
Yeah,
But yeah, didn't
yeah,
happen.
yeah. That's okay. But yeah, that was cool. And then and then there was the band that that Raven took out on tour with them. Uh, Slackjaw,
There we go.
who,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, Chase, what did you think of Slackjaw?
Well, I get to start this off. Honestly, okay. Here's the deal. Uh, they were kind of a mismatch. Let's just go ahead and say with the with I am the Intimidator and Raven. This
I
weird
agree.
like groovy bouncy kind of bro-ish kind of metal. Which honestly, dude, I have a Pantera back patch or a patch on my back. Not a back patch, it's Manowar back patch, but the one of the smaller ones is a Pantera one. I like groove metal just fine. I just wasn't in the fucking mood for it.
Yeah.
So I was one of those dicks that was just standing there with my arms crossed, like being all bitter faced about it. But they didn't really need our approval. The whole fucking house loved that place, aside from maybe 1 or 2 other people we knew who went to sit down and told us to enjoy our groove metal.
Yeah, I didn't like them at all.
I didn't think so.
Not all groove metal is terrible, but I thought these guys were. Um, just some of the most cliched, just bro trashy garbage. Uh, like they were like they were like Seven Mary Three meets Hatebreed, dude. Uh, it was. I was texting with
I
Dylan.
like Seven Mary Three.
They were fine in 1997, but like when I saw
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
But like if you heard them now, you'd be like, come on, boo. Um, but but I was even texting with Dylan from Headsplit. And he was like, he called them farmer metal, which I thought was hilarious. Um,
Jeez.
but yeah, I thought they were crap. I thought their lyrics were some of the most just like just the worst kind
Yeah.
of
Okay.
bro
Yeah. Some of the
garbage. And
yeah.
and like the stage banter was just straight from the new metal playbook. Like, are you ready to fuck shit up, motherfuckers? Like okay, Drowning Pool, we got it. You know, um, but and I thought. I didn't like them. I thought they were bullshit, and they even had plants in the audience. Like they had some
I
big
saw that. Yeah.
they had some big oaf with a slackjaw back patch, like "Gah," like trying to hype people up and like starting like up a pit, and like I didn't buy that for a second. I knew exactly what was happening. They had a couple other people that were clearly like with them that were like
Yeah.
on the tour and just
I
hyping them up, you know,
I can
in every
honestly say
show.
that we've been doing this enough to the point where I can even recognize people after seeing them a couple of times. Everybody who was wearing Slackjaw merch, I did not recognize.
Yeah,
So I think I agree with you there.
because they were not people from our scene. It was such a bullshit con job they were pulling. Um, like you can't fool me, man. I was born at night, but not last night. Uh, so I thought they were
Nice.
complete crap. They are like
Well,
top of
and
my
another
list. Top of my list of
sorry,
bands. I hope
another
top of my list of bands I hope break up real soon. Jesus. Now go.
okay, sorry. But another thing I noticed was that I mean that would probably coincide with what you were saying was that after they left, crowd kind of deflated. A couple of, like all the one or two people that had Slackjaw stuff on stage, but a lot of people left.
Yeah,
So
because
I'm not
those
entirely.
were their roadies. You know, those
There
are
we
those
go.
people that's helping them schlep their gear around. That's they had to go help break down their shit. So it's like, dude, you're not fooling me. But anyway, they were crap, but Raven were great.
Ah,
Raven was so awesome, man. The energy of these guys, again, dudes in their 60s. I mean, the drummer is a younger guy, but like dudes in their 60s who are just still living the heavy metal dream, man. And
yeah, man.
John and Mark Gallagher, I love brothers, and like I love that they're a band of brothers, and uh, uh, they were just so awesome. I mean, just like trading licks. Like Mark Gallagher is really underrated as a guitarist too. Uh, really cool, and
So yeah,
yeah, they played a lot of classics and also a fair amount of new stuff, which I think it was fairly 50-50 on that. And I think that's like yeah, a lot of bands are like, oh well, gee, hope they won't mind we play a couple of new numbers, right? No, it was about half and half new and
ah,
old songs, and it was good. And they also included like a medley of metal classics like Rock Bottom by UFO, Victim of Changes by Priest, um, Into the Void,
super not.
Black Sabbath, Supernaut, excuse me, not Into the Void, and
Yeah.
Bread Fan by Budgie. And I feel like there was one or two other things that they included in that medley too. That was really neat. Um, and yeah, Raven they just delivered the goods, man. I mean, I wish they had. I mean, I could watch them for hours. They were so awesome. We were talking like, oh man, they have so much great material to draw from. It was like they pulled out some stuff like whoa, it was cool to hear on and on. I'm like,
Yeah, on and on.
I'd love to hear Athletic Rock sometime. On another tour. But it was great. Raven is so much fun, and they love their fans, and they clearly
Yeah.
love doing this. And I just think like, man, it doesn't get much better than that. Um,
Easily the best. Like it could have just been Raven for the hour and a half they were on stage. We show up, see Raven, and leave. Probably one of the top like 5 concerts I've ever been to.
wow,
Really, like honestly, hand to God, yeah,
wow,
I fucking love Raven.
they are awesome, dude. And
uh,
after the show, John, does a quick wash up and then comes out and hangs and signs stuff and shakes hands with the fans and stuff. And I met John, got a photo with him. I gave him this Atomic Terror album. It's really great. And he's like, oh, Evil Outlaws, and I'm like, yeah, like it's so like I don't know, but he's a great guy, and it was just wonderful to meet him. It was great to see Raven again. Just a blast. We just had a great couple of nights, and just an awesome time. Uh, Anything
yeah,
else?
man. Uh, yeah. Well, I'm happy because I got to hear. Actually, I'll start off by saying I'm not disappointed, but like I didn't get to hear Mind Over Metal or All for One, which are come on.
Yeah, those
Um,
those two
but I got
Oh, go ahead. Those two
Okay,
and
faster than
we gotta, we gotta stop doing this to each other. Okay, those two songs you mentioned
go.
and Wiped Out and Athletic Rock are like songs that I would really like to hear live from them. Yes, that's all.
Definitely great choices, great choices. But we also got to hear Break the Chain, Rock Until You Drop, and well, on and on, which you already pointed out. And yeah, oh man, that was so much fun. Such a fun fucking night.
Yeah,
God
Help Us
damn it, let's do it
Roll.
again.
Yeah,
I wish every concert was a Raven concert. I said
there
that
you
last night and
go.
I fucking meant it.
Here's the thing. Don't you wish you were like lived in Newcastle so we could like maybe see Raven? Like, if only Raven was a local band.
Pretty bit.
Yeah. um, but yeah, they were so awesome and so much fun. Love Raven. And yeah, dude, just a rad couple of nights. I don't have a whole lot more to say. We just had a whole lot of fun.
I'll add that if Raven is Dylan from the show, I saw this on his Facebook earlier. He said if Raven, it's a good piece of advice. If Raven is coming to town, see him. Just fucking see him.
Yeah,
Don't say next year. Don't say Just see them, please.
yeah. And I
They
think here's the
fucking
thing,
rule.
because a lot of people like there are people who are like they've heard Raven and they're like corny, cheesy, and I'm like, look, man, this is a band you got to see live. And when you see Raven live, you're like, oh my god, this is one of the best bands in heavy metal. They're so rad, dude. They put on such a great show. And they are a blast. And like I'm a Raven fan for life. Love them. So
Fuck yeah.
big horns up for John and Mark Gallagher, man. Love those guys.
Yeah.
Hope they really do rock until they drop, and I believe they will.
You're here.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that should probably do it for tonight. Chase, do you have a sign off?
Thanks for watching Heavy Metal Breakdown. Like, comment, subscribe, and remember to stay solid as rock. Souls in the air.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night.